Hey everyone, Anthony Morgan's Training Academy. Do you guys want to be average or do you want to be excellent? Those two words, average is what everybody else does. Okay, you take 80% of the people, they're average. Okay, now there's only like probably 2% of people that become excellent at what they do. You look at it through all of history, there's only probably 2% that become Bruce Lee. Now, in order to become excellent, you have to take something, you have to dissect it, you have to spend the time. If you're only spending 8 hours a day working, 8 hours a day is not going to get you ahead. You have to put in that extra time to get more out of life than what you're wanting. My early career, when I started in martial arts, I started in 1972. And I dove into it. I was training five days a week. And I was training everywhere I could. I would go out of town. I would go hit every seminar I could. I would train under everybody that could teach me something. They didn't always have to be, great instructors, but I spent the time, training under these great guys. Now, to become excellent, you have to take something and you have to work that over and over and over and over to become excellent at it. You can't just pick it up once in a while and say, okay, this is a knife, so what does it do? Am I good with this hand? Am I good with this hand? Okay, can I understand all these little principles that dealing with a knife that I'm going to need to become excellent? How many books are you reading? If you go to the library and start looking at turn of the century books, start getting into the 14th, 15th century of fighting skills, are they all valuable? No, but a lot of that information is still current, but it's how we change and how we modify things. You can't stay still and get ahead. Okay, and when I say you can't stay still and get ahead, that means that if I spend all my time working on something and I don't want to put in the extra time to see where I could actually take that technique, different energies. Does it work on heavy set people? Does it work on skinny people? Does it work on short people? Okay, does it work on the ground? And most everything, it's like in the Filipino arts, the grappling that we do works well on the ground, works well stand up. The Wing Chun Do. The Wing Chun Do works very well in stand up, and it also is same technical comprehension on the ground. So but you have to continue to say, okay, I'm not going to be average, I'm going to be excellent. And you have to press that and press that and press that. It's like, if you get into Chi Sao, where are your fingers going? Okay? Is this above and outside the shoulder line when you have your Tan Sao? Is that thumb sticking in? And this is the area that Sijo James DeMille really spent a lot of time with me and trying to get all those little details out. When you go in the store and you ask for money, you put that thumb there so you can take the money. You don't just do that because that's average. Okay, you're training constantly. That thumb is in, I get the money here. Okay, the change goes here. Okay, it's like I'll mention to people, if my knife, my thumb is always out. Okay, the finger's always on the blade. Okay, now I do a 3-finger grip. And that comes from a lot from Guru Roland. You carry buckets, you carry 3 fingers. You hang 3 fingers. You shoot your gun, you shoot 3 fingers. So becoming excellent is taking all these little tiny things that we do and really breaking them down. Write notes. How can I How can I make this better? And what is needed for the now generation? What used to work 10 years ago doesn't work, may not work now, because everybody's always evolving. What was popular now, 80% of what's popular now, in 5 years, that will be completely different. I mean, the food that we're eating now, five years, the food may be different. You know, how we're watching TV now is going to be different in 5 years. Our cell phones in 5 years, we don't know what we're going to have. So you have to continually work on that upgrading. And to be excellent, you have to keep climbing. You can't stay in the same place. And so, and that's where, like I said, with knife work, you know, stick work, gun work, grappling, there always has to be pressing and pressing and pressing to see what is going to work and what isn't going to work, and how can we change things. How can we take one thing that we have done for, you know, 30 years and make it better. And so it's like, you know, working blades, you know, can I get to where I can switch that blade? Can I understand that blade? Is this blade, does this other hand work well if I'm doing manipulation? Can I manipulate two blades to where that will be, you know, manipulative. And so, but you just have to kind of keep pressing and pressing. And you know, if you go to the gym and you work out 1 hour twice a week, that's going to get you by. And you don't always have to go to the gym. Okay, you can do a lot of these studies on your own. When I'm in my car, I'm constantly listening to stuff. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly talking to guys. And that's the other thing is ask more questions. Okay, anywhere you are. And you'd be amazed. I mean, I have a surplus store. And I get these old guys coming in that are, you know, World War II, Vietnam guys. Ask more questions. And I ask them things, and they'll tell me stuff that I was like, wow, I never knew. And things that they used in combat that we don't use now, but a lot of it's changed. But ask more questions, get more information, and then build your life according to that. Okay, always keep growing. And like I said, do you want to be average or do you want to be excellent? So press on, and until next video, have a good day.